Can I ask you, first of all, what about the fact that you challenged the chief prosecutor about whether this should go ahead at all?
Yes, the chronology is as follows. She asked some other trial lawyers whether they would indict Ramush Haradinaj, and I think 3 of them declined on the basis that there was insufficient evidence. She then instructed 3 other lawyers who were not courtroom lawyers. They were comparatively senior in her office. She instructed them to indict him. And although they were clearly worried about what they were doing, or at least 2 of them were, they did as they were bidden. Another very senior lawyer and I observed what was going on and the effect that it was having on these senior lawyers who were simply told what to do. And we advised her that she shouldn't carry on in this way, and that she should engage in what had been the former practice of having indictment charges peer-reviewed. You have a broad gathering of highly knowledgeable people available in the office. It was what the previous prosecutor, Louise Arbour, had done, and it worked very well. She, of course, rejected our advice completely and went ahead with the indictment. So she had 2 distinct types of advice. 1, that the evidence was insufficient, and 2, that the method she employed to get this man indicted was inappropriate. That's a very serious state of affairs.
What does this mean for the credibility of the tribunal now, if, as you're saying, this indictment was brought as much for political reasons as anything else?
Well, we don't know what particular motivation was operating on the prosecutor, but it may well have been political. And one hopes that the damage to the tribunal is limited to this case, or maybe to this and 1 or 2 other cases I couldn't know. What's very important now is that there's a proper inquiry into what went wrong and what went on, because this man, Ramush Haradinaj, who, it has to be said, whatever his background may be, behaved impeccably from start to finish in ensuring that nothing adverse happened in Kosovo as he handed himself voluntarily in. This man's been tried twice and kept in prison for many years. Kosovo has been subject to an enforced change of premier when he was sent, or well, when he handed himself over. So there has to be a proper inquiry into what went wrong in this case. And if the lesson to be learnt is that those charged with the very important job of deciding who to indict should be free of any form of political influence and should approach the problem with a forensic eye to precisely what the evidence shows and no more, then that's the lesson that's got to be learnt. And that may be a lesson not just for the ICTY, the Yugoslavian tribunal, but for all the international tribunals around the world that are dealing with these serious and sensitive issues.